I don't see why I would support any plan that would cut benefits to seniors to pay for the reckless fiscal policies that led us to these massive deficits. That seems like a big change. So now there are some things that are off the table for you.
As when I was on the Fiscal Commission, and when any proposal comes before me for a vote, I will take a look. As much as I believe that Social Security should not be on the table because Social Security hasn't contributed 1 cent to the deficits that we face today, nor 1 cent to any of the national debt, the $14.3 trillion. So why should Social Security, why should seniors have to pay to balance the budget through Social Security cuts? But it should be on the table. Okay, I would fight to take it off the table, but it should start off on the table, and then what should remain on the table are the things that really drove us into these deficits. And most folks know what drove us into these deficits. When you don't pay for 2 wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, and you borrow all the money from China, you're going to have to pay for that at some point.
Okay. You're mentioning Social Security. In the President's Deficit Commission report, they say, among other things, without action, the benefits currently pledged under Social Security are a promise we cannot keep. Do you think changes need to be made to Social Security for future generations or not?
Absolutely. But you just said the operative words, future generations. We're not talking about balancing these budgets today for future generations. We're doing it because if we don't do it today, the person who's got to pay that mortgage tomorrow will find interest rates will have shot up. And so we're trying to take care of past debts. Remember, the debt ceiling vote is about past debts. It's not about future obligations. Social Security will be good for the next quarter century. But we should still do something to make sure that after that quarter century, we're not paying 78 cents on the dollar in benefits. We're paying 100% on the dollar.
Right. But last year, for the first time since the 80s, excuse me, Social Security paid out more benefits than it took in in payroll taxes.
True.
Correct?
True.
So, and essentially, and correct me if I'm wrong, the Social Security Trust Fund is a pile of IOUs from the government that it was taken from Congress's past that have already borrowed that money and spent on other programs. So eventually you have to pay that back. Is that not accurate?
Well, okay. This is the best way for me to display this for you. You have a wallet?
Not on me.
Not on you? Well, let me pull this out. $5 bill, right? Okay. It's just a piece of paper, but it says $5 on it. Okay, let me show you something else. It's a $50 savings bond. My daughter got it when she was born 16 years ago. Both of these are pieces of paper. This is a treasury certificate. This is $1. Both of them rely on the full faith and credit of the United States to be covered. If I try to cash either one of these in, it's only because the federal government says you can count on it getting paid. That's what Social Security has to the tune of $2.5 trillion. So when people say that Social Security has no money, they're saying to you that for the last 30-some-odd years, politicians have been stealing the money out of Social Security. It's there. Ask China, because China has these as well. And they expect to be paid. Social Security expects to be paid. And, by the way, you and I expect to be paid.
But with 10,000 baby boomers retiring every day for the next 19 years, and with people living longer, and the Social Security Trustees report says the program will not be able to pay fully beginning in 2036, right. Eventually, you're going to have to deal with this program, and you have the White House saying, why not now?
And we could, but you have to do it in the context of strengthening Social Security, not trying to pay for deficits that Social Security and Social Security beneficiaries had anything to do with. That's the difficulty that Democrats have with Republicans are proposing. Republicans want to put Social Security and Medicare on the table. You just heard Senator McConnell say we need to put the 2 programs on the table to deal with deficits and debt of today. And Democrats are saying, wait a second, whoa, every day an American works, when he or she pays that FICA tax out of that paycheck, it's going to Social Security and Medicare. Why, when it's a paid-for system, should it now have to pay for deficits that were caused by Bush tax cuts to wealthy, unpaid-for wars in Iraq and Afghanistan? So that's the big rub.